Okay, let's test the sound. Make sure that everyone can hear me on stream, and then we can actually start. Already posted the link in Discord, so it should be fine. Okay, let's test. And that works, so all should be fine. Let me know if it is something, or if there is some still something that you can't hear or anything, and I'll take another look at it. But for now, let's get going with the live stream ideas that I've received. So again, starting with first one, which was Solana, and starting it with that one. So I think I had it on pink list because I was trading actually. So Solana, I still like this quite a bit. Overall, again, macro time frame, nothing has really changed since last time we were looking at this. We got pretty impulsive looking structure from the lows of basically December 2022 or the early change of the year, and to me we're still within this structure here. I'm expecting some upside soon, and in my opinion, again, this structure coming down from the highs of around $26, and that was around April 17th. We have a potential leading here, so again, that's why I was expecting a three-way structure here instead of anything else. Generally, as we retraced like 90%, I would have already expected a five-way structure coming down. However, if it was a five-way structure, this extension would come all the way down here around $10, and then 4 and 5, which would potentially take out the low here, and I don't expect that to happen. So to me, I'm still expecting a bit more conservative idea that we have an ABC coming down here. Before that happens, of course, we need to be taking a look at that wave B first, and we did nearly tag the 0.382 retracement of that whole move of that wave A. So again, it should be fine. At this point, we have yet to tag the 23.6. If I can zoom in so we can see, there's some of these, I don't know even what this is. Okay, non-payroll, okay. But yeah, just a moment. Had to sneeze. So 23.6, that's the minimum amount of time we're expecting B wave here to be taking. So again, that would be around Friday 2nd, so tomorrow. And again, that would be minimum. To me, I kind of like the idea of we have something like this. I would be going looking for long setups down here somewhere. At least the 38.2 to be hit. I'm on the short setup here. We have a potential fire wave here coming down. We could have something like this, or that we already have it, and then we have another fire wave coming down. So at least I'm expecting the 0.5 and the 618, one of these to be hit before I want to be going long on this. Also the time, of course, elements. Let's see, what do we have here locally? That is actually already taken, so it doesn't matter. So something like this I would be expecting at this point. Let's see if there is some daily candles here that look really decent. Not really, nothing here. Let's see if there is any POCs or something that is of interest. Here is one. Where do we have it? POC here. That is definitely right at the golden pocket. So again, very interesting area. And if we are just looking at volume profile, we do have some more volume coming in here at the golden pocket as well. There was some slight drop off after the 0.5, but there is definitely support here as well. Not too much structural support here at the 0.5, but we need to be waiting for how this structure happens. So if we come down, it is more expected to come back here to the 618. So that would be the setup I would be looking for on Solana next. I would not. There is of course a possibility that if we have this as if we have this as 5 waves coming down on shorter time frame, we would have it come up in 3, potentially like so, and then look for a retracement. Let's see if I can fit this in here. Almost got to the 618 here. This kind of looks like 3 though, so it's not really a far wave coming down. But sometimes on smaller time frames, these wave structures are not that good. But yeah, overall, I would be expecting downwards still. You could be try to go along here as well. But yeah, that's the expectation for Solana at this moment. NASDAQ was next. NASDAQ, definitely not my favorite one. I tried to draw in something last night that I thought might be interesting, which would be this WXY. In this one, again, it is not perfect. It is kind of ugly. So let me just label it in with the proper ones. We don't need these. 3 waves in here. Some kind of consolidation back here. And then another 3 waves like this. Again, we do hit pretty decent targets here locally. 1-to-1 extension of that move. And also here, we almost get to the 1.236. So again, extension wise, they are pretty decent. So I think that might be the idea that I would be going after at this point. However, there is some things that I kind of don't like about this, because some of the other indices are so much more bullish. If you're comparing this to, say, Dow, I kind of like something like this to happen, either with this setup here or this larger setup coming down and up, or even with the ORS 200, which is even better looking. This got failed, where we would have this as a structure coming down and up. I really like this. This is more of a macro picture though. Dow, again, on higher time frame, I really like this as well. Regardless where this wave A ends, whether this is wave 4 and 5 like so, doesn't really matter. Again, we are in some kind of channel here coming down at this point. Let me fix that snippet there. There's some kind of channel coming down. So we'll see if we are going to be getting another low here, but we are already tagged the 618 here on the previous lows. If we break this, chances are that this is no longer a 5, and it has some probabilities going against the whole idea of having this as very much more of a macro picture. But for now, I'm still learning towards bullishness on Dow. Is this really live? It is really live. I'm not sure what makes it that weird looking. Nifty or Bank Nifty. I'm sorry, I can't do the requests from the chat. I just do it from the Patreon, because otherwise I would get too many requests. I hope you understand. So, in any case, I still like this as WXY set into a high degree wave W, and then overall expectation for me is this ABC here. Yeah, what up? Yeah, and A, B, and then looking for C. I've labeled this as an AB for now, and then C, because there is always a possibility where this B is not in. And if we want to be more conservative, which I always am with trading, we could be looking for 3 here, 3 here, and then 5 downwards. And only then we would be able to get that B. And yeah, that would allow us to get below these lows. And yeah, of course, taking profits on the way if this turns up to be the right count. But yeah, this is the setup I'm playing at this moment on Dow. But the request was about NASDAQ. So let's dive back into it. Again, as said, 3 here, some kind of 3 here. I'm really not a fan of this structure here. Maybe it's something like this and that. So a 3, 3, 3. It's very ugly. I can't really make too much sense of it. And I feel like if I'm using too much time on it, it's just waste of time at this point. But for me, WXY is still on the table. If we start to extend this higher than the 1.618 here, around 15.3k, then we can start to talk about the possibility of this becoming 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, where this is some kind of diagonal like we had at one of the options here. Let's see if I can find it. Not that one, this one. Where originally this was a potential diagonal here as an A, B, and looking for C, or a 1, 2, 1, 2 setup, and then we would just rocket off to the moon. But again, as more of a conservative one, I really like the upside, and the stop being here potentially. I might be wrong. I'm not trading NASDAQ, just to make that clear, because I don't like the structure. But yeah, WXY for me is the best looking at this point. Bitcoin and ETH, yeah, they are coming later on the live stream. I need to go through the Patreon requests first. Microsoft. Don't think I've tracked Microsoft too much here. This is exactly very similar to what we had on that NASDAQ that I just showed you. We have some kind of 3 here, potential 3 here, and then yet another 3 here. Not really too much of a fan of this either, to be honest. So we do get to the bearish targets. 1.236 extension. This is probably extended a bit further. Yeah, it's probably more like a 1.382 or the almost 1.6, 1.382, okay. So yeah, right here. And now we are getting some kind of rejection from it. Not very clear. Not very clear. But yeah, this is still intact, the idea that we are going to be having this X wave here. The thing here is that we don't really no longer need to be thinking about X, but instead we could be thinking about B wave, because we retraced so much. So instead of WXY here, this is becoming more bearish. ABC. And this actually probably should be, let's see. I mean, it could be intermediate. It could be just start of this wave of a cycle. That would be horrible. Higher time frame again, if we want to look at Microsoft's count. It has been straight up. Super cycle 1-2 from December basically 2000 to 09, 1-2. That very sideways of a box here, and I don't think we are ready for anything else yet. I don't know why these have shifted. I think I have had it here. This probably have been in here. Oh man, I really like when TradingView decides to reorganize my account somewhere. But yeah, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Super bullish, but you can see that the continuation was there. 1-2. Potential 3, 4, very much more of a sideways here, expectation for wave 4. So this pink color, if you can see anything from all the fibs here. But here on wave 2 we had a zigzag, or something that is very simple of a structure anyway. So here we could have something like this as a flat, and we have already retraced enough for that flat structure to be happening. So what do? We keep an eye on the count. Here on smaller time frames, what do we see? If we get a potential far way down, we are going to be looking for retracements and then a continuation. We do have some divergences here, a couple actually. Not quite sure if I'm too much of a fan of this though. We could have some kind of diagonal in here, and then this is very weird looking, this one. I don't think this goes to the 0.618. No, it does not. So I think we have this as 3, and then we have a potential move up still to come. We do have a slight divergence here as well, so we could have a 3 here, or this is yet another 1, 2 to the upside, and we are going a bit further. Let's see on the higher time frame if we have some kind of divergences. Not really, at least on hourly. There is very slight divergences from here, but that is the A wave of this move. So again, something like this. How often do you YouTube lives? I do them once a week. But yeah, I kind of like this. This is definitely on the track where I need to be tracking this. So I'm putting it in my pink list here and seeing how does this go. Could be looking into this potential long setup here as well during the open. If this does not move during much on the open, I might want to do something like this, as a quick scalp here. And let's see, where would I put my stop? Well, basically at here. If it goes below here, beyond the 1.61 greatly, then it is more likely that is a continuation of previous structure already. But that's not my primary idea, since this compared to this move here is not that large. So yeah, that's the idea there. That's Microsoft, pretty decent looking. Google, let's see. Google here. Or was it just Google? GOO. Can't remember. Because I had tracked both of them. Okay, it's just Google, okay. So I think this is the more bullish scenario where we were looking for a diagonal pattern to occur. Again, it is less probable always than the bearish setup, where if we start the structure with 3 waves, we're always going to be looking for this as main as a bearish count upwards, right? So if we do get a continuation, it would be in 3. So probably this is pretty right, except I did not update this. So again, it is very similar to the NASDAQ, very similar to Microsoft, where we started again in 3, came down, and then received another 3-way structure here. Let's take some extensions here. So again, we did extend quite far up, but it's still bearish though. Bearish targets. This is very low though. The retracement here. This is why I did not go any long on anything, because again the extensions were just not there. Couple nicely aligning targets here for sure. This 1-to-1 and the 1.61 with 1.236 looks decent. And if we were to, let's see, this was 3 waves, so let's see, what do we have? We're nowhere clear. Oh, sorry, we're nowhere near the B wave targets. So again, this would be more of that 786 to golden pocket. Oh, look at that golden pocket right here, where we tagged in, and now we are getting some kind of move potentially. So overall, W, X, and Y. I'm sorry, this looks like I'm all bear, but again, the charts are talking to me like this at this point. So until they prove me otherwise, I'm still holding my bearish thoughts, like we have had since all this structure coming down. Even though now we have been making moves up, it's not too impulsive looking to me yet. But once I pivot, you know. But yeah, this is definitely the bearish count, and I do favor that way better than the bull scenario here. Kind of still intact. However, the issue is that this diagonal does not really look too good. And also we can see that this potential third wave would be larger than first. So expectation would be that this would be expanding diagonal, which is again less probable. But that's the bull scenario. And again, if this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3-way pullback, and enjoy the ride. But again, less probable of a scenario for me. Bear scenario is the way to go at this point. Google kind of want to be shorting this too. Maybe I'll just do a small bet against the highs here. Just somewhere above here, maybe. It's the 200 here. It's quite far up. Maybe somewhere about around here. That's my stop. But yeah, this would be very much of a swing trade. But yeah, that's Google. Let's go to the next one. Bear counts last stand look like. Yeah. Apple, Meta. Let's take a look at Apple. AAPL. Okay, so I haven't looked at this for a bit, but the structure stands still. That's the same. I think this is pretty decent here. Yeah. So ABC we were looking at. This is still there. 1-to-1 we have not yet tagged. I kind of don't like this as much as Microsoft and Google, because this didn't even have as small or as large of a retracement like the other ones. This is definitely not tradable here unless you're just buying dips here along the way and that is your strategy. But for me this is not really buyable. Minimum extension however already hit of this ABC, so that's all fine. I'll label this as a WXY coming down. This is probably a different degree completely. This probably is minor or even a intermediate. Let's see the time here. So 38.2 it tagged, so I feel like it could be intermediate degree as well already. So these would be minor. I'll just delete that one. Minor, and this change color here. And this is the retracement. So this should be actually red. So in here, again, we have gone to the 0.9, which allows us to have an A, B, and C here. Actually, I have this wrong degrees now set up because this would be a wave 4 of primary. This should be intermediate. Oh well, whatever. I'll fix that later. It does not really matter at this point. But yeah, if we are going to be getting a 5-way move downwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, look for pullback, and we just might get this. Because yeah, it is still more probable for the 0.9, if that is hit, that this whole thing is an ABC instead of a WXY. So still a potential plan here. Did we actually get this liquidity off from here? No, we did not. Okay. Give me just a moment. I got a call coming in. I think it's the workshop here. Give me just a second. Well, that was fast. They just hang up on me. Okay. So what did we have? Potential move starting to come down. This is kind of aggressive looking, how it is coming down. Straight down line. we'll see how that continues today. If we are going to be getting up something like this, we could be just doing a small position here, going against the lows, oh sorry, the highs, and then look for downwards. So I'm not really sure what to expect here. There is definitely a chance that this is done, but the extensions are not the best. It's not as good as Microsoft and Google. But again, most of these times they are moving together. So there is definitely chances of going down. Meta. Here. Wow, this is going up. I did label this in ABs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because we never got the wave force in here, so we can't really say that. Well, we could say that we have a structure like that, but we just don't have the data or structure in here, so it's kind of guessing game to say that we have this as an ABC extension wise. That is almost really good. 1 to 1 hits the golden pocket of that retracement here, but this is kind of an issue here because we did not have the structure. It would have been so nice to have this as a ABC, easy 5-way move here. Also, we had another fair value gap here, and both these are probably needing to be filled at some point, so move down is in order soon. We still do have that divergence in here. The last one is kind of questionable, but at least 2 divergences on smaller time frame. Higher time frame, we just only have this one. Yeah, there is a chance that this is now done. The last time when we were looking at this, we were looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then potential 5th here. The only issue I can see at this point is that we did not have a divergence at all. Can we consider this to be a extended 5th? Sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, extension on 5th. There we would not be having a divergence here either then. So again, that might explain why we don't have divergence on either of these peaks. Yeah, this is way too small time frame to be analyzing anything on these charts. But yeah, I kind of like the look of this and still expecting this B wave to be happening. If we get one more high, basically we could start, well, actually the gap starts from here, so yeah, there's still plenty of time for that, or plenty of price to go up. But golden pocket and the 1-to-1 extension of this move here, whether it's a 3 or not, I'm not quite sure. I kind of like the look of this as a 3 because of the other stocks that we've been talking about. So yeah, I would really like if this came up here. I'll just set an alarm here at the golden pocket, or just pre-golden pocket. NVDA, let's take a look at that. NVDA took a massive leap here. I think it was last week, right? Yeah, last week's Thursday. We were looking at this as a potential 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 here. But yeah, it got a massive move up. So instead of 3 being here, we probably should have it up in here somewhere. And either this is 3 or this is the... yeah, can't really analyze this because there's again no data. There is a very good chance that we are still in this and we could be looking for one more high. If not, then this was the top and we just shift everything 1 to the left and that would be it. It's kind of hard to get those tops, but we do have slight divergence here. This might be the leading indicator that we are getting some kind of 3s and 4s here. If we get double divergence here, RSI does this while we get a new low here. Look for 3-way pullback, and this would be just going short against the highs. Because again, the way I've got this count is that this should be finishing up soon. Again, this is probably not the best one to short, because again, it is beyond all-time highs. It is massively bullish overall. And this is one of the only ones that I kind of like the real look of having this as very impulsive to the upside. And once this comes down somewhere in here, I'm definitely going long on a bigger position here. Whether this is done here as a 5th, or whether this is just a 3rd wave of this move here, and we are creating something like this, is yet to be seen. It could be that other ones are dumping, and this is creating some kind of sideways mess here before getting one last push and then down, while the other charts are getting a way larger 3-way structure, and while NVDA might be just leading the markets a bit. Could be. But yeah, smaller time frames we discussed, and there is definitely a possibility there. I'm just setting an alert here on top of the previous highs, local highs here on, well, 387 or 388. Tesla. Again, we were discussing about this as the possibility, where we had this as a 5-way move of either wave A or wave 1. Again, I'm more conservative, leaning towards more of that A wave. It's also possible that this is not a 5-way move from lows, but instead a 3-way like so, 3 ways down and then 3 ways up, like we have on the other structures or other places. But again, it starts to look a bit extended here on this last leg. So I kind of like the idea of having this, but I think we are still missing one more high here, which definitely can be this. If we are taking the highs here, could be that we are correcting soon. I've already taken one profit somewhere very early on. I think it was here, because I was expecting this to be a 3-way structure, but I'll let the rest of the long run. Again, I think it was somewhere in here we were looking for that long setup, and yeah, it has gained pretty decently since then. But yeah, it would be kind of short this wave 4 in time and also in price. We have not even tagged the 23.6. Could be a wave 4 still, and then one more pump. Or if we never get that one more high, then we could be on our way to the downside and having this as a 3-way structure instead. And what that would be part of, well, that is pretty easy. This structure could still use a partner leg to the downside. We have not hit the 618 here, so maybe that is to come. So we would be creating a 3-way structure coming down all the way to 150s or 140s here somewhere, back again, and where we could be loading up on Tesla again. But yeah, these are definitely the areas I'm going to be looking to take profit on Tesla. Again, we already have divergences forming, and if we get another divergence here, which is very likely to me, if we take out the high, I'm definitely taking more profits out. So yeah, that's that. YM we already looked at. DDOG. That's one of the newer ones that we analyzed on Patreon. So you can take a look at the move here. It never came back here, unfortunately. It never took a low here. It has been quite a large move. I'm still not really liking this too much, because this to be an ABC it's very extended. I've labeled this as an ABC here, and as we have taken out the highs, this is obviously an expanded structure, whether it's going to be a running flat or a expanded flat taking out the lows of this wave A here. Not sure of that yet at all. There's also a chance that this wave C is not done, as we could be creating a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like so. RSI highs somewhere in here. We did create some divergence here. We could be creating one more high here. I would kind of like that a bit more, and then we would be looking for lower. I can set an alert here already below these lows. If we just take the liquidity pump up higher, then we know that, okay, that is probably the last leg upwards. And then of course we need to be following up on that and see if we can get a 5-way move up, 5-way move down and 3 waves up, and then going short against the highs. And that is again the game plan. A, B, C, higher time frame expectation, and even higher time frame expectation would be that this ABC here would be part of a larger move to the downside here. But this kind of goes against the NASDAQ idea, but we'll see what happens. They are similarly moving to the downside here if this happens soon. So that is something that goes both ways. I'm just not sure of this C wave that is to come potentially. The other way of looking at this is that we have an ABC here, and now we'd be looking for the next wave Y here, overall higher time frame. I'm not quite sure. I can't really. The only reason I did not think that was the main idea previously was that we had this in 3, we had this in 3, and yeah, let's see. I think this is the lowest low here, so we would have to end the count here, and this kind of structure inside here is kind of weird. So if we have what is this mess here? This in this box, I don't know. Very large consolidation at the end is not very typical in my opinion, and I can't really get an Elliott wave structure in that sense, having it start from here and end here. So yeah, that's why I think I had it as an ABC. DDOG, but yeah, the local structures here are intact, and I think this is pretty good looking. Did I set the alerts? I can't see it. Just set another one and one at the highs here. 3M. I don't know anything about this. I can't remember. Have I analyzed this? I need to ask about that. Which indicator? This lower one here. This is the this is my RSI that you can get from Patreon. I don't really use too many indicators. I got loads here, but I'm not really using too many of them. Mainly for the naked point of controls and volume data, VWAPs, and the volume profile on the side. Those are the main ones. Other ones are mainly just testing. Yeah, no problem. AMC, take a look at that. This ain't doing too good. Oh wow, yeah, this is horrible. Why are you asking me to do this, William? Oh god, why is this? The trade signals or the trade setup service is not from Trading with Edge. It's from another company. It's Counter Trend Capital. You can find the links from our channel as well, or from the Discord, or I can just Give me just a second, I'll just link it. I'll link you the other thing here. You can find the links in there. But yeah, trading with Edge, I'm not providing signals on this part of my company, I guess. But the other side, Counter Trend Capital, I'm one of the founders there, so we are providing signals over there. I've looked at this before, but I can't remember a thing. ABC, okay. Maybe this is an ABC here. Man, this is so ugly. And lands nowhere. Yeah. Maybe some kind of diagonal here. Super weird. It's not even the low here, so it can't be a diagonal. Maybe a triangle? Man, that is looking so weird. Maybe this is a... It could be... I mean, A, B, C, D... B, C, D... Either E is in here, and we go to 0 somewhere. I don't know, this is so weird looking. Maybe it's something like this. I think it is still pretty proportionate in comparison to these previous ones. Okay, maybe that is it. This is the target for, let's see, this probably has to be a WXY overall. Minor. So this is minor again, right? WXY, yeah, okay. Got anything here? No. This is so bad looking. I would never trade this. There's nothing really overlapping. Maybe the $2 area is something of interest. That would mean another 56% drop. Oh man. I don't want to call this, but I'm only interested here. I'll just hit an alarm here. Way too late, but yeah, I'm not cashing on in this move here downwards. I don't like it. Also, it might be that wave E is not yet done and we are creating a structure like that before we drop down. Okay, so yeah, that is the highest, so yeah. It doesn't look half bad, to be honest. The issue overall is that this was in 3, which is kind of sad. Of course, we could get a continuation of that later on, but I'm not sure if I want to believe that either. $2, maybe I might be interested in, maybe against these lows here. I couldn't go on much because this would be another 50% drop, right? No, 40%. But the profits, if this turns up, would be very nice. Where is this guy? Yeah. Imagine 2000% gains. Okay. Unleveraged. Yep. Okay. I think we need to be moving on and not just dream about this. This is the only place I would be interested in here, somewhere. And the extension targets are not really there too much. So we've used 46 minutes now. Let's see if there was anything else. There was some Forex Factory news events going on right now. Let's take a look at that. We had ADP non-farm employment change was positive, which is good for currency, which is bad for markets, I guess. And unemployment claims were pretty neutral. Let's check out DXY at this point. and he's dumping. What? When was this? Oh, this was 40 minutes ago. Okay. So basically at 15 here. So he pumped on until that point. What? I'm confused. I don't know, this was supposed to be actual greater than forecast is good for currency. And it was massively good. I don't know. I don't understand this. Your B after January squeeze could be a triangle. B after this one? Yeah, probably can be. I think I only have it as some kind of 3-wave because of the RSI here, and that's why I did not really like the triangle on it. But yeah, 3 here looks fine, regardless of what the B is. But yeah, it can be definitely labeled in triangle. A, B, C, D, E. Kind of small E, but yeah, and D. But I think those are the ones that were the request ones. Then let's check out the other ones that I have. So NVDA we checked out. Netflix I don't think we have checked out yet. This never played out. We got another high here. And this meant we were going against, or going short, or I was going short against these highs here. It never played out. We got stopped, and now it's doing something. So that means that either, if this is a 5-way move, it's not part of this move. It might be part of this, maybe, or that this structure is not done and this here is in 3. We had some consolidation here, we had some consolidation here. That's why I like the idea of this being a 5-wave. Not quite sure. Not quite sure. I think we need to just wait for this to be playing out before taking too many things on this. It could be that this is just a 5-wave here, and we have 5-wave. We could have this as 5 waves, like we talked about previously as well, where we would have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So A, B, C instead of this W, X, Y that we've been tracking. Again, we are still within the bearish targets here. We took out the liquidity from here. Still this massive fair value gap all the way up in here. I don't think it's going to reach there. But overall Netflix was kind of weird as well previously. Actually meant that first ABC in January 2021. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Oh, in here. January 2021. Here. Something like this. Yeah, definitely can be. Yeah, it doesn't really change much. Yeah, as I said. Yeah. Yeah, could definitely be. I don't think I've looked into it too closely, to be honest. But yeah, Netflix, I'm still not really, I don't like it at this point. It could be similar to the Microsoft and Google situation, where we would be looking to go short soon here. If this indeed is 5 waves, we do have that divergence. The extensions are just not there. This is very much one-to-one extension targets and corrected targets, and that is the reason we were looking for short setups here. This was the short, and we got stopped out. Not all the plays are going to be winners, of course. But yeah, I think I'm just going to be letting this play a bit. Consolidation sideways. Maybe another triangle, I don't know. Could be that we have some kind of 1, 2 here, 3, 4, and 5. I'll just set an alert here above here, if I can find a way to look for a short setup here for that potential C wave later on. Otherwise, I'm not really interested. I'm definitely not going long here. Never. Longs are already missed. We have to accept that. Way before. Let's go to crypto ideas. So again, very messy chart, but let's get rid of something here. Overall idea, since the highs that we have had, 31k, came down in 3. I really like this as 3. Came up in 3. Originally, I was looking for a potential, just a sweep of this high, but we actually extended beyond the previous highs here. Took that, and we got that trade swing failure pattern, and then came down. Currently, I've labeled this as a ABC coming down. Obviously, the not conservative. The opposite of conservative would be that this would be a 1-2. The issue with this was that we only extended to 1.61 or 1.236, which is why I labeled originally this as the wave C, because we started to get this kind of consolidation, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looked very good, and then we even got a move up in 3, got moved down. So again, this definitely can be labeled in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Has the potential of having this whole thing ended. And this would be in submicro for now. Not the best structure based on the extensions, but there could be a very much of a consolidation back up somewhere here. At this point, I would be interested in potentially this golden pocket. Not really fan of this too much because it's not lining up with this structure here, or this lowest structure point. If we extend a bit lower still, that would need to extend quite a bit lower. Down here somewhere, the golden pocket would be lining up with this. So that would be something that I would like. We have some daily opens there, here as well, at this point, and the previous very interesting area for me was the this kind of very sideways of a range. So we had a point of control. We had a first bounce from it here, but we were coming up in 3. Then we had another more impulsive structure to the downside. If you can see anything from this, sorry, there's so many things aligned or drawn in here. But we got a move down, and we got into this area where we had multiple things of going on at the same time. We had golden pocket of this move in here. We also had a weekly, so weekly close, naked bundle control, and a daily open. So there was a lot of confluence here that had the chance of, well, this is going up, or at least has a chance of bouncing here, which actually did happen. So again, that is definitely interesting in here. This was too early for me to catch, but we'll see if we can get a reaction from here downwards and then move up maybe. If not, then I'll just miss the long from here. But again, shorts are in effect still, and I'm still holding on those. I got, I think, 3 or 4 shorts going on at the moment. Solana, ETH, Bitcoin, and well, that's ADA short that I've been in for so long already. Don't have too much going on with that anymore, price wise or money wise, but yeah. Then let's take a look at ETH. It's the exact same thing. ETH has the potential of having this as 1-2-1-2, and here locally we would have to create another diagonal here for this to become something of impulse. And then now we'd be looking to retrace and then bounce downwards very rapidly in wave 3. I mean, again, that would be in 5 waves, of course. But yeah, this is the most bearish scenario at this point. But again, we don't really have, well, the structure coming down from the highs was impulsive to me, very much more impulsive than anything else. 3 ways up in here tells me that, okay, we are correcting the previous move here. Then we came down. This is not concise. I can't really say that this is 5 or 3. It could be some kind of diagonal. In any case, it's super ugly. Whether it's a diagonal or anything else, I don't know, to be honest. This is the way to make it into some kind of diagonal here, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. and then we would have another 3 wave up, which means again it is going up in 3, which has the trend going down in 5. So down here, this is the trend. So what are we expecting? Well, more to the downside. And if indeed the markets are soon coming down, if NASDAQ decides that, okay, that 3-way structure is over, we pumped hard enough to get all the bulls out back into the market, and that's it. Time to dump. Time to get everyone out of the markets. And yeah, at that point, it's gonna be a wild game again. So keep your eyes out for sure for that. Solana we already looked at. ADA. This was the setup that I had here. This was the short A, B, and then looking for C. I don't really like this idea of having this as a 1-2 anymore. I kind of like the idea that this would be a 1-2, or that this whole thing would become down, or would be coming down in 3 waves, and we have some kind of diagonal in here instead. I think this is much more proportionate at this point. The structure coming down here can be labeled in 5 or in 3 as well. But yeah, I think this is more proportionate at this point. I'm still in this short from here, and yeah, I don't really have too much on it anymore, but again, I'm willing to stick out and see if we can get a pretty decent move to the downside. There are some targets here. Golden pocket of this first original move, whether this is 5 or 3, does not really matter, would be coming down here, would be potentially looking to take out this low. Again, On many altcoins, we have already taken out this high, this low. There's some that are more interesting to me in long term, because again, we would be looking for a three-way structure like this, take out this low here, and then pump to create a partner leg overall like this. So that is the main idea on many altcoins, but again, some have taken out this already, and definitely has the risk to go below the origin of that move. That is, again, the end of last year. But that's ADA. Fantom, I think Fantom is actually one of those that has taken out that. Let me just find it already. I can't even see an ML. Fantom USDT. Can I not find it? Nope. No, it's right there. There we go. It actually has not taken out it. But yeah, okay, that's good. So Fantom still has some chance. Originally, I was expecting this to come down or doing something like that for that way. Why? Never happened. I don't think I've just updated this count. But again, we still have this possibility here. This came down in 5, I think, and we had this coming up in 3. So again, at this point, we are looking for a possible partner leg for this one to come down. 1-to-1 was here around 29.5. Actually have that alert there. Now, as we are looking at it, I think this looks pretty decent as some kind of diagonal here. So it could be already done. It would be kind of unfortunate since we would not take out the lows here if we were to pump. We can find the invalidation point already where, let's see, yeah, that looks good. And then we would have the invalidation of this complete idea would be here at 1-to-1, $27.6. So we could be already going long against this here. This 1-to-1 invalidation just means that this last leg would become longer than this one here in the middle, and wave 3 can never be the shortest in an impulse wave. So that's why it would be a clear invalidation here. But of course, you need to be looking at the risk to reward ratios of these trades, and also the how much you're going to be putting in. This is almost 14% drop. So again, that would be quite a lot. But again, the extension targets you would be looking for is quite decent here overall. And if you were to even look for smaller trades, look for the very much more tighter invalidation locally, you could be getting much more out of this trade than anything else. At this point, if this was the bottom, if it was the bottom, you could be looking at some kind of diagonal here. This might be something that I might be looking into if we come down in 3 here. I'll just set an alert here for myself. But yeah, this looks decent in my opinion, coming down in this kind of 5-wave move. Yeah, kind of decent looking. Of course, if you don't want to be playing this shorter time frame and you would be wanting to get a bit more of a confirmation, you would be waiting for this high here around 35 cents to be done or taken. So you could be saying that, okay, we have a market structure shift, and then you would be looking for a move downwards. But yeah, if you're willing to risk something here, it has already the gains to be made and locked in here. So you could be double dipping into here and then move up. But I think that is pretty much that. That's Fantom. Let's see if we had anything else. Indices we already went through. Sectors, I'm going to go through those on Patreon. But yeah, that's that. If there is some people on chat, I can't see if there is anyone watching at this point. If you have some assets you want me to cover, let me know now. If not, then I'm going to be stopping the stream soon. So I'm giving a couple of minutes here for you to, well, not a couple of minutes, 20-30 seconds. I don't know how much delay we have on the chat, so those who stick out into the end have a chance of requesting something. Very quiet, the chat, so I think everyone has already gone AFK or something. Let's see if there is anything on the yeah, nothing really, no questions on Discord either. So let's see, what did you ask? I can't see it on the chat. Neo, I can take a look at that. Ahmed, if you can write what you want it to be analyzed as well, let me know. This was one of the opportunities here on Neo. Did not play out because we created a new low. This was the count that I'm running with on Neo at this point. ABC coming down, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and some kind of diagonal here. Not really sure how I want to be labeling this. There is always a chance that this is just a wave 1 here, 2 3 4 5. So sometimes the diagonals are kind of hard to say. We do have divergences from the third to here, and also here and here. So I think we are at the very much of the end of this diagonal soon. So the question is just when. I might be looking into just taking a position here and just setting some kind of arbitrary stop loss somewhere in here, and then just hoping it goes up. The other way of looking at this is exactly the same as mentioned on the Fantom. I think it was Fantom. Take out this high here and then looking for a trade afterwards. So those are the two options for me. Can Bitcoin be a 1-2-1-2 from 31k top? 31k top here. 1-2-1-2. I mean, if you want to be super bearish, why not? 1-2-1-2. The issue that I can see right away is that this structure here is so much larger in time than here. Also, you can be labeling this in triangle. It doesn't really matter. It can be labeled in 3 here as well. So, but yeah, the time element is the only thing that I would be considering here, because you can see that 1-to-1 is here, and we even take this much longer comparing these two together. So generally on higher time frame structure, meaning this, if this was a wave 2 of high degree, it should take a bit longer than the smaller degree 1-2. I can't remember the extension targets here. This would fit pretty decently because it's not going past too much the 1-to-1. But yeah, in my opinion, it's better to label this as the wave X instead of 1-2-1-2 based on the time. Hope you understand that. And of course, that is a more conservative way of looking at it as well. And also it doesn't mean that this wave X has to be in either. This could be a three-way structure that is just the start of wave X. We could have some kind of 3 here and move up again in here, and then we would shift the wave X here, and then later on just create a dump here, larger structure. If there is anything you can actually see anymore here. Too many drawings, I know. C3 AI. Probably this one. I'm just going to be doing the small time frame. Actually, I have already this done here. 1 hour time frame. I'm not going to go to do anything else here. So 1, 2, and then looking for more. At this point, however, as we have not extended beyond, this fits the ABC criteria perfectly. 1.236 to 1.382 extensions. We're there. Can be labeled in 3. Guess this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 extended fit here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can easily be labeled in like that. But until we hit the 1.618, I'm still staying bearish on this. I never got into this trade because it never came down. It just rocketed. E3 symbols 1212. I think it has the same issue though. Yeah, it does. Clearly, yeah. Has the same issue. I still have this as 1212 as well, because we did hit the 0.618, but again, it's not tagging it perfectly. We just go beyond it, and we just linger between these 1-to-1 and 0.618. It could be that this is an A wave, B, C here, and then we have the exact same situation as with Bitcoin, where we have this as 3, and then move downwards again to create a pattern like here. It can be because of distribution, basically. I mean, yeah. I mean, anything is possible, I guess. It's just probabilities. Generally, you want to have smaller wave degrees last lesser time than the higher degrees. It's not invalidated by any means. I'm still looking for more downside as well. But the more conservative you are, the better you are able to get realistic results, in my opinion. Yeah. But yeah, that is the most bearish, of course, is the 1212. And then we just, well, that's a rip. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. And if this was a 5-way move, I don't think it is part of anything before it. So basically do this copy paste here and go into log scale. Whoa, well, not like that. Maybe we do it in this log scale instead. But yeah, this kind of 3-wave here. Beep boop, $400 ETH. But that's definitely a possibility, of course. And again, although I'm conservative here, the main idea is that we are still missing a pattern like for this overall. Whether it is from here, these highs, or we are creating something like this more to the upside, I don't know. But these are the areas I would be very much more interested in very much higher time frame positions and investments on these altcoins and everything. Because on high degrees, on higher time frames, on indices as well, I'm still expecting this crash to come. This. But it definitely has to take out these lows, in my opinion, this 3500 on ES. So whether it's like this or whether it's like this, I'm still expecting lower later. Yeah, it would be pretty decent. I think I had my earliest at $200 somewhere in here, I think, when I had no idea about anything and I was just buying. But yeah, those are the earliest ETH that I had. But yeah, I think that is pretty much going to do it for this stream. Hope you enjoyed and got again something out of it. And if you want to get the trade setups, check out Counter Capital. There's always links in the description of all these videos, and also the Patreon if you want to support me directly, and of course all the videos that I'm producing. Probably going to be cutting down a bit into not as often videos in the summer, because I want to be spending that summer as well, and not being just in computer or in front of a computer. So yeah, might not create as many videos as previously, but we'll see. Counting NASDAQ in high time frame wave 4 right now, taking charts in linear and 3 monthly. Yeah, that is definitely a possibility. I think I have it in wave 4 as well on some. Let's see. Yeah, I have it as a wave 4 of super cycle as a possibility. There's also a chance that this is not done yet here, but yeah, something like this. Oh well, we'll see. Again, not today's topic for sure. But I think that is going to do it for this video and the live stream, of course. So thanks for being here, and catch you on the next week's live stream. Bye bye.